All right, Sistas fans. Now, I did watch this week's episode, and by watch, I did what I said I would do, only watch any scenes involving the Andi storyline, and there was some pretty good stuff in there. I mean, from conversations about why Karen was the only one to know about Gary being married, and the fact that it really did show the group dynamic. I feel like as the season is continuing on, it's addressing some of the concerns that I felt early on about how the group of girls really didn't feel like a group of friends. It felt like there was definitely division amongst the ranks. It almost felt like Scoop, Mystery Inc. You knew the gang was a group of friends and they're talking dog, but when it came down to solving the mystery, it was Fred, Velma, and Daphne, and then Shag and Scoob went their own way. It's kind of like, the group was always split. But I really like the scene where they brought up the fact that, Andi was only talking to Karen about the Gary situation because at the end of the day, sometimes you want someone to blindly validate your feelings, and I can definitely relate to that. Sometimes you don't talk to the friends who will be real with you. You're going to talk to the people who will just tell you what you want to hear. Like, instead of telling you what you should be doing, they'll tell you, oh no, go ahead, ain't nothing wrong with what you're doing right now. Go see this person, talk to this person. Who cares if they're married? Who cares if they're already in a relationship? Who cares if they've broken your heart twice? Go, third time's the charm, right? So I really did like that dynamic. I believe Sabrina and Andi are about to have their girls' night, so that's pretty good. But in any case, I just want to address the Gary scene, and Gary is the same. And I guess a lot of fans, I went on Twitter, I saw Sistas trending, and the ratings were pretty damn good. I believe it was over over a million live viewers. And I wonder if that has to do with two things. Does it have to do with the new time slot of 9 o'clock? And in conjunction, is that because people tuned in thinking the Oval would be coming on, despite the show being on mid-season, and they actually said it wouldn't be back until May, but for whatever reason, people still thought it was coming on. Either way, yeah, I've heard some good things about the episode, but Gary is just the same. But I can't be mad at the writing, even though I think it's kind of dumb, but this actually happens in real life. So he comes over to Andi's place because he forgot his key card or whatever from his wallet when he threw it down in the last episode. And he apologizes for her being caught in his bullshit and everything. And if I won't bother you again and everything like that. Okay, Gary, that's okay, great. And then he's like, Andi's pretty much at a loss because everything could be falling apart for the sake of Jasmine getting her disbarred and suing the firm. But then Gary's like, fine, I'll go back to her. That means she'll, soften the blow because I'll do whatever I can to prevent her from doing that. And he's crying and everything. And basically he's like, yeah, I'll do that for you. Okay. And Andi's, just sitting there because, well, yeah, I'd be doing the same thing. It's like, go. I mean, I wouldn't be rude, but I'm just saying, like, you pretty much regret the fact that I'm caught up in your bullshit, even though I did play a hand of it because I knew you were married. And then you start crying and say you'll do what you can to help. But then he looks to Andi to say, I'll give everything up for you. And then he turns to a complete asshole. Those crocodile tears just disappear. And it's like, wait, what? And then what doesn't he say she's cold? It's like, you're a cold bitch or something like that. And I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? Because I'm still confused because, correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't there multiple pictures that showed multiple women, not just that one girl? What was it? Jerry, Gary's sister-in-law, hence why she looked a lot like Jasmine. And weren't there like a white girl and a couple other females? Like, Gary never explained who they were. So you're telling me you want Andi to give up everything she's worked for so you can take care of her. But at the same time, you got to look at it from the perspective of who knows there are other women out there that he's been seeing. I mean, that we haven't even been introduced yet. Not to mention, even if Andi decides to give everything up for you because you give everything up to your wife, that doesn't mean you'll still not cheat. I mean, it just seems pretty dumb. I mean, if anything, Gary's just acting the way he is because he's in a tough spot. But as soon, as their divorce is settled and everything, and him and Andi are kind of on solid ground, who's to say he won't just go out and find somebody else while, she's being a homemaker or whatever it is Gary wants her to do? So I don't even know why he keeps showing up to her apartment. Like, he said he would go to the wife, and he admitted to not even doing that last time because, man, I don't want to go over there. I just been staying at a hotel, and it's like, wait, what? You lying piece of crap. So Andi at this point, I mean, the only thing she could do is hope Jasmine agrees to allow her to work for her and take Gary for everything he's got because of the fact that, well, Andi is very good at what she does, and that would be a major win for the law firm. And if anything, her boss might be impressed because despite all the obstacles being a conflict of interest, Andi was still able to pull off a major victory, breaking a record she've already set because in the first episode, she already got the biggest settlement the law firm had seen. So to actually eclipse that with the case of Gary and Jasmine, that will make her very, very impressive. And I doubt that, look, I doubt Jasmine would disbar her. Sure, she might, but at the same time, when money is in your bank account, you kind of lose, that rage. It's like, what, I still hate you, bitch, but at the same time, I appreciate what you did for me and my kids, and that's it. Yeah. Not to mention, I've always thought of it this way. And I mean, I don't want to speak arrogantly because, I haven't been in a relationship or been in a serious situation like this, but my attitude has always been, if someone is with someone else and they try to be with me, because, well, actually, this did happen in college. There was one girl who wanted to hang out together, but I think, yeah, me and her boyfriend, we had a communications class together. I think it was like video editing or something like that, and it was like a group project. And me and him, it was 4 people in the group. So me and him were in the computer lab that one night on campus, working on some editing, and the girlfriend was there. We were all talking, cracking jokes. He went to the bathroom, and we were just talking, again, cracking jokes. She was just impressed by how funny I was, I guess. Then the boyfriend came back. We finished up for the night. We parted ways. Then one day, I think they were walking across campus. I was out there with some of my friends. We were playing, we were just, throwing around a baseball. And I think she friended me on Facebook, and we talked a little bit. And, I'm just thinking, hey, how's it going? It's like, just working on the project still, and then blah, blah, blah. And she asked if I wanted to hang out. And I'm like, yeah, because my boyfriend, he's going home for the weekend. I'm like, no, I'm busy. And then next thing they break up, and then she wanted to, get with me. And I'm like, nah. And here's my thing. The fact that you would break up with someone to be with me, in a way, is flattering, but also scary, because who's to say if we get together, you won't break up with me to get with someone else too? You know what I mean? So it's like, the same way you got me is the same way that I could actually lose you. That's always been my attitude. But when you look at the Andi situation, you're messing around with someone who's married, but on top of that has kids. So in my mind, I'll never be able to have that person because they'll always be attached to their former significant other through their kids. That's why and I know this is probably a bit too personal, but I'm not really one who wants a pre-made family. That's just my, stance on that. But, I get it. It is not really out of the norm nowadays for people to get with someone who has kids, or both of them have kids of their own. Hell, look at the Brady Bunch. Dun, 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 dun. But I think when it comes to the Andi Gary thing, it's just like, Andi, I feel like, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Andi's decision, I do feel like I'm growing to appreciate her more in terms of, believe it or not, Tyler Perry's writing, because it really is real, where you can have a very intelligent character. Very intelligent. They could be successful in more ways than one in terms of their education, their career. But when it comes to matters of the heart, they make dumb decisions because love, lust, whatever you want to call it, feelings, they can get in the way and screw everything up. They can truly cloud your judgment. So I will admit, despite the fact that Sistas is not one of my favorite shows, as the series continues, I feel like I am growing to appreciate the writing more than from when I first started first started watching the show, writing my notes and theories to do my videos. There we go. But, once again, it really is, the fact that the videos aren't doing numbers like I wanted them to. And that's not why that's why I don't really cover the show in depth, like, let's say, the haves and the have-nots, or If Loving You Is Wrong, or Greenleaf, or Ambitions. But, I do find like there are some gems scattered throughout the series. And when he does drop the series on BET Plus, bruh, which is going to be like the male version of Sistas, I'll give it a watch to just see, how he writes men in that series, and whether or not it'll be a good perspective. So with that being said, let me know your thoughts on the Andi Gary situation. Honestly, I don't even know why he bothers showing up to her door anymore, or why she even talks to him, because it's just the same thing every time. I'm sorry. And then it's like he just wants to be coddled, and then it's like, well, I'll give up everything for you, but you're not going to give up everything for me. And it's like, well, no. So there we go. But make sure you subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.